welcome to another episode of Unboxing Women, where we explore the gender gap in the music and entertainment industry. If you're active in the music business, an independent artist, a musician, or just curious about how it all works, then this pod is for you. My name is Micah Rose, and with me is my friend Dana Rex. We are both independent recording artists based in Europe. After having been called a bitch for knowing what we want, we were fed up and decided to be such a bitch, and are here to reveal what really goes on behind the scenes. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform and on our YouTube channel. So today we have a special topic. We are talking about Céline Dion.
Yes, Céline, and more specifically about the documentary that she has out on Prime, is it?
Yeah.
And her following performance on the Olympics recently, very recently. I must say that I cried. I cried during the documentary. It was really harrowing and hard to watch sometimes. I don't know how you experienced that.
Well, I have to say, I watched this documentary on a day where I was pretty much cried out, so I didn't cry. But it wasn't because, it wasn't harrowing, because it was, but I was just like, my body was just like, nope, no tears left today. Yeah, maybe not the best day to watch it, but it was definitely something I'm going to think about for a long time, I think.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Céline Dion was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome.
Or syndrome?
Yeah,
syndrome.
Stiff person syndrome. So it's basically a condition where all your muscles cramp. And because the voice is a muscle, it also cramps. And so she's had years and years of having a hard time singing, really, because it's not like one day from the next, like, oh, okay, now she has this. It's been creeping up on her, and in the past, she has had to cancel, concerts for this. So that was surprising to me because I didn't know that. I didn't know that she's had to cancel stuff for that already before. And now that it's just gone so far that she couldn't sing anymore. She couldn't sing. And that must have been horrible as a singer.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like your superpower.
If you take it even further, and you can discuss which is worse for yourself or decide which is worse for yourself, but she also couldn't walk for a while.
Yeah.
Right? So it went that far that she couldn't walk for a while. And
I don't know. I think the singing would be the worst thing. She couldn't control her voice. And this is like she made her professional life is around controlling her voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just losing the control is so horrible. I know that walking isn't fun. Not being able to walk isn't, but I mean, really? I don't know. Are there other singers listening to us? What would be the worst for you? Let us know. For me, it would definitely be not being able to control what your voice is doing exactly. It's so frustrating.
I think it would be for me as well. Yeah. I think it's something that maybe you can understand as someone who doesn't sing, but I think you can't really feel it as someone who isn't like a singer.
Yeah.
Because, and that by that I don't mean like you have to be a professional, just somebody who really enjoys singing. But I think I've had nightmares about not being able to sing, not being able to control my voice. Yeah. I've had it's not been a lot, but it is something that is one of the greatest fears, I would say. And when I was 18, they took out my wisdom teeth. And just before we went into the surgery, it said there's a 1 in, I think, 10,000 chance that your vocal cords can be altered.
Oh, God.
By
just
this.
Before
that they
you
can
go
be impacted. Yeah. And I was like, I'd just gotten accepted to uni, right, for music. And I was like, do I do this? Do I not do this? I mean, I did it and I was fine. But
yeah, you're like, wait.
What? Yeah. I actually had a panic attack as well. So
everybody should watch this documentary. It is just a great window into what a star's life is like, or like any singer, and the things that we go through, because you put these people on a pedestal, and they're, but they are doing a job in the end. They are working on their craft, and it's their job. And yes, they love it so much so it doesn't seem like a job, but it still is. And there's a lot of people involved as well. And I think she also felt that she was letting a lot of people down, especially the fans. But I mean, also her team and everything,
Yeah.
I think that was also one of the facets that that was very interesting in the documentary.
I felt that, yeah. I thought it was really interesting. As you said, it gives you an insight into what the life of a star is, because I feel like watching the documentary, it was so interesting to see how much is actually scripted for her. She does like approve these things and like read them through and then do changes of how she wants it to be. But she gets stuff scripted for her, and then she does like just shoots on random days. And I mean, obviously, this documentary isn't super long. It's like 103 minutes, I think, and it doesn't show nearly everything. Like not even the tiniest snippet, really.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting as a performer to see what life is like for somebody who has that stage of fame.
Absolutely.
Even though she also has this disease, like life still goes on. She still has meetings and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of a contrast.
It was. And also, I think I loved also a little bit of the background, like about her outfits and about, other things like that, about working in the studio. And I'm actually, I'm very proud of her. I mean, doesn't matter what I feel, but I think she should be very proud to have, taken the decision to have a camera crew follow her through this diagnosis and therapy and doctor appointments and research. And also at the very end, she actually has like a complete fit and cramp and episode, really. And she decided after that to put it into the documentary. And that, for me, shows how brave she is. Because that must have taken a lot of it must have been very emotional for her to decide to actually put it in.
Yeah. I mean, you can see during the cramp, she's also sobbing, right?
She must be in so much pain.
I was thinking because it was directly after she'd been into the studio for the first time in years. And then she immediately had a cramp, and people were saying, oh, it's because she was overstimulated. It's because, and I can only imagine going through her head. Like, I was thinking, if I were in that position, I would probably be thinking, oh my fucking God, I sing for the first time. Like, I do what I want to do. We've trained for this moment. And now I get a cramp as a result of that. How am I ever going to get back to where I was? How am I ever going to, is this going to be it? Is this going to be my life?
Yeah. And then she goes on the Olympics and she does what she did. Isn't that, it's just crazy. And all the videos that you're seeing on YouTube, because I looked the Olympics performance up on YouTube, and the results that you get are a lot of people, obviously influencers, like jumping on that, like, oh, did she lip sync or was she singing for real? But I had the feeling that anybody who covered it, that's the question that they were asking. It came up like 20 times, and I'm like, wait, what? This drives me nuts. Why is this the topic? You can clearly see in the video that she's singing. I mean, I feel it's so disrespectful to one of the most amazing voices of our time to just put that like, oh, I know it's like clickbait, but it's so disrespectful. I really don't like it very much.
It really is, yeah. It's kind of like, I mean, consider taking it into a different art form or a different thing. Like, just because somebody isn't able to produce their art anymore, it doesn't mean it devalues the great work they've done before and how people should see them, right? It
exactly.
just, I don't know. It's yeah.
Yeah, and she also uses vibrato, which is hard to use an auto-tune on, so she clearly doesn't need any
True.
tweaking at all. She's just amazing. She did not have auto-tune there, and it was a long performance. It was an emotional performance. The lead up to the Olympics is not in the documentary because it came out before and it's from before. But just if you just imagine between those two moments, having that episode and then getting this documentary out, being all over the place, doing interviews about it with everybody, basically, who all of a sudden wants to interview you about this, and crying on stage and on TV and just being emotional and open about this. And then they're like, hey, why don't you come sing at the Olympics? And how do you even start this healing journey to get to what she actually did? I think that is like the most crazy, amazing accomplishment anybody has ever done. It's insane.
Yeah. It is actually insane. I'm how do I say this? I was a fan of Celine's. Like, I listened to her music. I love her music. But I never, I mean, we've talked about this before. I'm not the type of person who like fangirls a lot. And I hate that term actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't like find artists and follow them everywhere and see what they're doing and I don't do that. And so I didn't even know Céline Dion was French. And I say this, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, but she has a French name, and you can hear her accent, and it's obvious. And I'm like,
no,
I thought
Canadian.
It was an artist name. Oh, she's Canadian.
Yeah, she's Canadian.
Right. Okay. That makes, I mean, it doesn't make more sense either. It's just, I didn't know she was, I didn't know she could, like, her original, like, language is French and stuff like that. Obviously, being Canadian,
she's Canadian.
You know both.
Yeah, because sometimes she speaks like Canadian French in the documentary. And it's so funny because I'm a fluent French speaker, but like French from France or like Europe. And it's completely different. And it's so funny because
wondering.
I'm like, what is she saying?
Yeah, because I was wondering. I mean, I'm not fluent at all, but I know enough to understand European French a lot of the time. And I was like, what is wrong with my French skills? No. What is happening?
It's normal that you don't understand a thing. It's totally normal.
Okay. Well, so I didn't even know that detail, right? And so hearing her story, because you kind of get to see a little bit how she became what she is. And there was one thing she said that I thought was really, really impactful. She said, I didn't create myself. I didn't invent myself. I am.
Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it was so, it shows just how she has been living for music her entire life. She has been, she's not putting on a show. She's not something, you know, she's not some character or whatever. She is just, she is.
She is the personification of her voice. She is. I mean, yeah,
exactly.
I know what you mean. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But it really is just that. And I mean, just doing that Olympics performance also after going through all of that. I mean, the sheer perseverance and willpower it must have taken. And I think for her, it's like there's no other way. I have to do this, you know. This is my destiny, you know.
Yeah, there was a time when she was with her physiotherapist, I think, or some sort of therapist, and she was doing a movement, and it was like a hip hinging backwards movement, and she was doing it wrong for the beginning, and then the physiotherapist said, yes, better, and she was like, better or good?
Yeah.
Right? As in, it had to be perfect because she wanted everything to be perfect for her to get, you know, well or as well as she could in the best way.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of control freak there as well. Also, for I don't know if you remember, she was like recording a video for a friend that was ill, I think, with her sons, and they had these was it watermelons or was it like pumpkins or something?
I think it was coconuts.
Oh, coconuts. Yes, something. Yeah. And then her son was like picking on the coconut and like dropping it on the floor. And then she said, you know, can you stop doing that? And he's like, oh, sorry. And she's like, don't be sorry. Just stop doing it. And then she's like, and you will get the Hoover later and you'll Hoover this. She's like, yeah, come on.
Yeah. I mean, she ended up hoovering it, but yeah.
Yeah, she did hoover it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, in so many ways, I feel like, and this is meant as the greatest compliment, she reminded me a lot of you.
Me?
Yeah. in the drive and the passion and the knowing where you want to go and the never letting go stuff.
Oh my God, that is like the biggest compliment anybody has ever given me. Thank you, Micah. I think I might cry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry because I mean it. I just
what?
Yeah. I was watching the documentary and I was like, there are so many parallels. This is like the drive. Yeah.
Oh wow. I need a minute.
Yeah.
To digest that. Wait, let me dry my tears. Okay. Well, anyway, getting back to Céline. Yeah, I think everybody should watch this documentary. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's on Prime. Pretty sure you may be able to find it elsewhere, or it might be on YouTube. I don't know, but it's definitely worth it to get insights, even if you don't specifically like Céline Dion. I think we can all agree that she has an amazing voice and she's an amazing singer and performer. And so everyone, go and watch it. And on that note, that's all for today. Thank you for tuning into Unboxing Women. If you've ever had an experience that you want to share with us, there's the banner. Send us a DM or tag us in your post with the hashtag suchabitch, or send us an email on suchabitch@unboxingwomen.com. Don't forget to drop us a like on Instagram or wherever you are listening to us now. My name is Dana Rex, and I've been chatting with Micah Rose. Tune into another episode of Unboxing Women next week. See you then. Bye.
Bye.